This is one of 6 videos, the 5th of the 6 videos from our event in June of 2021. We hear from Dr. Sara Hasan from the University of Birmingham, and she talks about a new way of researching with people and how it gives opportunities to better understand local groups and think about the future. She touches on action research with communities via a community researcher network, as well as her interviews with refugees.
So today I will be speaking about a couple of projects that we've worked on in Birmingham, and then reporting on what we've learned from these projects and perhaps the implications of how we do research, the methodology of the research, and also the implications for the research institutions we work at. So the first one is the Use It project, which was an Urban Innovative Actions ERDF funded project in Birmingham, and Use It stands for Unlocking Social and Economic Innovation Together. Now this project was quite unique because it was more of an action research project with a partnership of 15 institutions in Birmingham, looking at a deprived area. I don't like to call it deprived, I would call it an area of urban transformation in Birmingham inner city. And the uniqueness of this area is that whilst it might be classed as an area of urban deprivation, there were 2 big major infrastructure projects happening in this site. One is the building of a regional regional hospital, and the other was a big area of housing development. Now in this project, which ran from 2016 till 2019, the University of Birmingham has adopted a quite interesting approach to things when looking at the communities in this area, doing a slightly different way to engage with these communities. So we did recruitment and training of normal people within this community. We recruited 80 community researchers, where we went in and we did some training into basic research, social research ideas, and then led them out into their communities. Now, the benefit of using this methodology was for us to understand in a much clearer, much better way, especially the hard-to-reach groups. And I can see from the previous presentations that this is quite an important point, is to understand deeply what these communities have in regard, and also the position of these participants in our research. So rather than the research is researching them only and then not having a very active role in this research, our research was trying to bring them in to co-produce what matters most to them. So these 80 community researchers have went out, they've done fantastic sort of research, fantastic sort of findings that perhaps today I don't have the amount of time to report on their production. 2 of them have gone on to get a master's degree, two grandmas from an ethnic background, perhaps that we don't see very much at the University of Birmingham, but they have done their masters there, and the project was labeled as a success in terms of inclusive growth and in terms of engaging with communities. Now there's where I met Lucy, who was working on the UK 2070 Commission and was very interested in this approach. And together we started working on a project with the community researchers to investigate ideas of inclusivity, ideas of engagement, what can we learn together, and how communities can achieve things that perhaps was not perceived as achievable before for the communities. Together with Lucy as well, we've been producing a fantastic framework that looks at 9 dimensions of engagement. How to engage with communities, how to value the different knowledges that are available, not only the academic knowledges that we very highly value, but there are other knowledges that we need to learn from, a very collaborative sort of way of thinking. And also how to understand better the issues so that the different stakeholders within the policy making arena can then understand and work in a more collaborative way. So this was the Use It project and how it worked with the UK 2070 project. And then another project after that I've been involved with, which was also quite interesting in terms of trying to understand communities, which is an evaluation project that looks at evaluating a program called the Community Sponsorship Program, which is a home office program that brings refugees hosted by communities. Now, my involvement in this project was purely because I speak Arabic as a native Arabic speaker. I'm from Egypt. But when designing the research with the research team, and actually going and doing the interviews, we've done 60 interviews with adult refugees who came on this program. It was quite interesting for me to learn about the communities that hosted the refugees, what things were in place for these communities to help the refugees, how the refugees have impacted these communities, how these communities have evolved, how these communities are getting in touch with each other all over the UK. So we've interviewed families who've been resettled in Scotland, in Wales, in England, and it's a wealth of information and a wealth of ideas that communities are and I would like to say only communities are very powerful at achieving such impact. Which brings me to the next part of what I wanted to say today, which are what are the implications of this sort of research into our futures. So as well, Francis and Florence have said before, communities are quite powerful, and we have a major gap when doing research as academics in that we research people, but we don't research with people, and that is a big problem. We need to co-produce more, not only co-produce in terms of just speaking about co-production and what it has to do with the economies, but actual co-production with actual people who we value their knowledge. And it's two-way street for the project, the Use It project, for example. When we first landed in the area of Birmingham where we worked, they told us, oh, you're academic researchers working at the University of Birmingham. Nice, fancy university that is far in the leafy Edgbaston in Birmingham, that does not relate very much to our community. University perhaps is not for us and not for our children or our grandchildren. We never go to the university, and we never think that it has any importance in our lives. What are these people coming into our areas? What are they trying to do? So throughout these projects, we have tried to change the narrative, and I believe that these are seeds for future change. future change in terms of how the academic researchers undertake such action research projects, and also change in institutions and how the institutions themselves perceive themselves and perceive the communities that they are deeply rooted in. And I'm really happy to be speaking about that with John Goddard being there, and he's the professor expert on civic universities, which brings us to the role of perhaps what universities and higher education institutions have to offer in a new way, in a new paradigm now that we are experiencing the power of communities and also the power of working from home. So yes, obviously today I wouldn't have been able to present because I'm on maternity leave after having a baby just 2 months ago. So yes, listening today to Frances was quite inspirational. Yes, she spoke about me in every possible way. And yes, so we've got new, perhaps let me rephrase that. We've got a new way of working. We've got a new way of life, a new way of doing things, and that's a massive opportunity. It might be a very excellent opportunity to connect to communities in a different way than we perceive. So yes, so that's what I wanted to speak about today. I will stop. Thank you very much.
If you found this interesting, please like this video, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for further videos on the same topic.